Only a Conservative vote can secure legacy of the democratic decision reached by the British people, says Sir Liam Fox. The great Brexit betrayal has begun and could be with us in a matter of weeks. As Labour get more cocky, taking the election result and the British people for granted, they are becoming bolder in their plans to reverse the referendum result they have always loathed. Ever since the British people voted to leave the European Union, the metropolitan left and their media allies have tried to persuade voters that it has been a failure and that, in the red wall seats in particular, they were wrong to vote Conservative in 2019 when Boris Johnson promised to get Brexit done. It has been a clear strategy that many of us have repeatedly warned about, but too little has been done to counter it. So, let's begin with the reality of the Brexit position. Outside the EU, the United Kingdom is now able, once again, to make and arbitrate its own laws without the interference of a foreign court. This was the number one reason why so many Britons, including myself, voted to leave. In other areas, such as trade, where we were told Britain would not be able to cope, we have instead become the world's fourth largest exporter, overtaking France, the Netherlands and Japan since Britain's EU exit. Rather than the rise in unemployment that was forecast by the Remain campaign, Britain now finds itself with an unemployment rate around half that of the French and lower inflation than the Eurozone bloc. Yet those who still can't stomach the fact that the British people did not do what their political masters told them to do, want to reverse the process. Bizarrely, they will be aided and abetted in this by Nigel Farage and the Reform Party who, in their self-interested drive to destroy the Conservative Party, are likely to hand the Brexit-betraying Labour Party an even bigger victory. Labour are becoming bolder in their aims. Labour's manifesto talks about a veterinary deal, and the Shadow Chancellor Rachel Reeves recently talked in the press about importing EU rules around chemicals. These may sound innocuous enough, but what they really mean is that Britain would be importing EU rules over which we had no say. This would be an even worse position than when we were in the EU itself, where at least we had some influence over the rules that were being created. Where the British people voted to give ourselves greater control over the rules affecting our country, Labour would make us completely dependent on those rule makers in Brussels who have no regard for British interests whatsoever. Labour say that they won't rejoin the single market or customs union or offer another EU referendum, but they know that the EU won't allow them to cherry-pick the bits of Brussels law that they like and leave the rest. The EU Commission and a number of hardline states, such as France, have made it clear that they would extract a high price for any concessions. The question is how much a Labour government, especially one with a huge majority, would be willing to pay. We can almost see the white flags being raised by Starmer and co already. The great irony is that those who are considering voting reform in this election, and who were great champions for Brexit in the referendum, will make its reversal more likely by denying seats to the Conservatives and giving Labour a big victory.